to All Things Possible TV. I'm glad you're here today with us. And today I'm excited about this episode. It is titled Ho'oponopono, Heal Your Life, Change Your Reality. Now that may sound like a pretty big claim to make, but what you're going to find is amazing. It almost seems like magic, but Ho'oponopono really does work. Ho'oponopono, the word is literally, it's a Hawaiian word, and it means to make things right with one's ancestors. It's an ancient healing system that goes back many, many generations. And it was brought more into light by Dr. Hulen Haleakala. But let me tell you just a little quick story first. About 2 weeks ago, I was on my way out of town, going on vacation. And I had a client call me and says, "Oh, Bill, I really need to talk to you. We need to set up a session." I says, "I am so sorry. I'm headed out of town for a week, and we can't do anything. Tell me what's going on. Maybe I can help. We can visit a little bit while I'm traveling." And my client proceeded to share with me that there's a lot of stress at work, and she had seen a pattern where it would start out great, but it seemed like the relationships would deteriorate. And right now, she felt like her boss wasn't speaking to her, was ignoring her. There just seemed to be a lot of tension. She had no idea what that was. And she says, "And I've seen this pattern before in other jobs that I've had. And there's some other things going on, but this is the main thing. I'm really concerned about what's going on at work, and what can we do?" Man, as I was driving down the road, I says, "You know what, I'm going to teach you Ho'oponopono." And in about 10 minutes, I taught her Ho'oponopono and said, "Do it." When I got back from vacation, I checked in, and we had scheduled our session for right when I got back. She said Ho'oponopono was amazing. She says, "I've been doing Ho'oponopono not just for my work situation, for all my relationships. I've been teaching this to my kids. It's amazing." She says, "I did it that night after I got off the phone with you. And the next morning, first thing, my boss came in, visited with me, told me how much he appreciated me, what a great job I was doing. Everything was totally different. It hadn't been this way for a long time. And all I did was Ho'oponopono." He had no idea what I'd been doing or anything, but he came to me that next day and said, "You know what, we really appreciate the job you're doing. You're doing great." And that's just one little story of the amazing process of Ho'oponopono. So let me give you a little bit of the background of what it is, where it came from, and how to do it. It's very, very simple. It's kind of like driving a car. There's a whole lot of things going on in the background. There's a lot of computer systems in your car for your brakes, for your steering, for the way your engine runs, your temperature controls. Really, all you need to do is grab the steering wheel, know what gear to put it in, and where to tune your radio station, right? And then set your temperature for the thermostat that you want. The rest of that, you don't have to know what goes on in the background. You need the basic controls, and you can be a great car driver. And even text, I hope not, while you're driving. And I think Ho'oponopono is like that. I want to give you a few of the background things. But first, before we get into that, I would like to offer a free strategy session with you if you'll go to allthingspossible.biz and click the Contact Us button. Email me and let me know that you'd like a free strategy session. We'd love to do that, or to visit with Kris also. Anything that would help you there. So, what is Ho'oponopono? Again, the ancient system of healing from Hawaii, from the Polynesian culture, and it literally means to put things right with one's ancestors. Okay, so let me tell you the story of Dr. Hulen Haleakala. And I hope I say that right. If you're Hawaiian, please forgive me. I am sorry. I'm trying to do my best. Okay, but it's close to that. About 30 years ago, in this Hawaii State Hospital system, Dr. Hulen was hired by them to be the psychologist, or the counselor, over the roughest segment. These are your most severe criminals, and obviously many of our criminals get off with temporary insanity or whatever. And instead of getting sent to prison, they go to a state mental hospital. But they're still very dangerous people. These are your murderers, your rapists, your kidnappers, people who had committed very, very serious crimes. They'd get sent to the state hospital many times if they're not deemed mentally competent. And this was the system in Hawaii 30 years ago that Dr. Haleakala was hired to be over. And this was, these inmates were constantly in chains. They just had a few minutes of free time each day, but they had to let them do it separately, because not a day went by where some of the prisoner inmates either did not attack another inmate or attack someone who was working there. There was a lot of employee turnover. People would use up all of their sick time, anything they could do to not be at work. It was very hard to get people to work there. A lot of absenteeism and a lot of turnover in all of the staff. The very, very bleak place to work. So entered Dr. Helen Haleakala. And everybody thought, oh boy, here comes another one of these great doctors with all these PhDs, and they're going to tell us how they're going to change the world and tell us, and we're going to implement all these new systems once again, to watch it go down the drain. And then as soon as he sees it's not working, this doctor will bail and we'll be hiring another one. But Dr. Helen was a little bit different. He did things a little bit different. In fact, he really didn't even call the inmates into his office and visit with them. He did ask to see their files occasionally, and he sat in his office day after day. He didn't always even show up early for work, but he was a kind, pleasant man with a positive attitude, and he would sit in his office and occasionally ask for files. But little by little, as he was there, things began to change. They noticed little changes, that there weren't as many attacks, that the inmates were more cheerful. They noticed that they needed less medication, that they could be sent out in the courtyard. They even wanted to play tennis with some of the employees, the people who were working there. And the attitudes and things began to change. The end of this story is just under 4 years after he began working there, they closed down this wing of the Hawaii State Mental Hospital. There were only a few inmates left there, and these few they transferred to other areas because it was no longer economically viable to keep it open. What happened? Well, they all got to where they could be transferred into other facilities because they got better. Because these inmates, instead of being so violent and angry and requiring, all of this care all of the time, they were able to be released or transferred to lower security, and they was able to shut that down after just under 4 years. So what was Dr. Helen doing all this time? If he didn't visit with the inmate, what changed? I mean, was he a slacker? And obviously he was not a slacker. He was doing ho'oponopono. He would look at a patient's files and do ho'oponopono for that patient. And whatever came up, he would process through with them without ever bringing them in to visit in his office and to work and do counseling with them. And it totally changed. It was miraculous. That's what I want to share with you today is ho'oponopono. Heal your life, change your reality. The basis of, and the premise of ho'oponopono is that you create your reality. If there is something out of order in your life, in your space, that is out of order, you have something to do with it. You have responsibility for that. Okay? You may not have caused it or created it, but because it's in your space. If your children isn't doing well in school, if your neighbor is hard to get along with, you have a responsibility there. If there's war and hunger in the world and this disturbs you, you have a responsibility to do something about that. And Ho'oponopono is an amazing system to change that. Again, go back to the story I told you in the first video about this lady. Okay, never said a word to her boss, didn't send him a note, say anything. She really didn't know what was going on. But because she did this, reality changed. You've heard the statement, you create your own reality. And through Ho'oponopono, you can change your reality and realize what you're doing to create it. It's so simple. Okay, 4 simple steps to Ho'oponopono. 4 steps, okay? And you can do these in whatever order. You can mix up the order as much as you want. But it is saying these words. So you think of a situation where you don't get along with your neighbors, your boss, your spouse, any relationship, maybe a friend that things just aren't quite right with and you don't know why, or maybe you do know why and you don't know how to fix it. You've said you're sorry to them, you've done what you can to repair the situation and it's not changing. Do Ho'oponopono, okay? It's very personal, it takes full responsibility and accountability to you. Here's the dialogue. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. 4 parts, that's all it is. So if all you watched in this whole video is, if you got a problem, say, I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. That's really all you need to know. I'd love to give you more story. I want to give you enough belief to where you'll actually try it and do it and see some results, okay? It's kind of like driving a car. I want to explain to you what goes on with all these systems, or a little bit, so that you understand and you'll have faith. Otherwise, this just seems crazy, but I can tell you I've seen so many instances in my life where this works. So, let's talk about that a little bit. What happens when you say, I am sorry? Okay? A couple of things begin to happen. One, you start to take responsibility and accountability. If there's something wrong, something out of order in your space, okay? You're saying, I'm sorry. You may not know what's wrong, but just be open to the possibility that through the ripple effect, that you had something to do with that. And when you do this, there's blockages that block us from moving forward in our life. There's blockages between us and the people we have relationships with when there's difficulties. It just removes these barriers and these blockages, okay? There's something magical about it. But on an energetic level, it's very real. We remove these blockages when we take responsibility and say, you know what, I'm done blaming somebody else all the time. This is about me, and it's my responsibility to heal this. Whether or not it's my fault, it is my responsibility, because we are responsible for ourselves. The second part, forgive me. Please forgive me, okay? When you do this, you can be addressing a certain person. Please forgive me for anything I might have done, consciously or unconsciously, for anything I either did or anything I didn't do. Please forgive me. Okay? Now, if it's a problem with world hunger, with pornography, with something that disturbs you, that you feel is not right, you're saying to higher power, to the universe, please forgive me for holding a stuck energy pattern. And when you do this, you start to change the energy of things. You don't have to know all this stuff. You have to know, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. That's what you have to know. But I want to share with you a little bit of why it works. And the other part is thank you. Gratitude holds a very high energetic vibrational frequency. And when we show gratitude, the healing begins, okay? And also when we go gratitude, all at once, instead of being depressed or angry, upset, whatever emotions we hold with whatever is out of order in our lives, we turn that, gratitude turns everything into a positive emotion, okay? Thank you, very powerful word, gratitude. The last part is, I love you. Love is the greatest power in the universe. And love holds the vibrational frequency of light and a high healing vibration to it with love. To heal relationships, to heal hearts, to heal the world. So when I say you can change your reality, you really can change your reality. All right. That's basically it. It's, I am sorry, forgive me, I love you, and thank you. Now, there's a lot of information about Ho'oponopono. Feel free to Google that, look it up on Google, get more information. But here's some things that I like to do with Ho'oponopono as I am processing. For example, if I'm out of the way, I'm a client, someone I know, an old friend, a new friend, and things aren't right, someone in my community that I have a less than desirable relationship with, I love to say, I am sorry. And it's amazing the things that will come to my mind. If I know what I've done, I am sorry for ignoring you. I am sorry for not being more conscientious and more attentive to your needs, if I know what that is. I'm sorry for not being a better friend. Add in things as you just whatever comes up, add it in, and then forgive me. Again, add that. Forgive me for not doing that. Forgive me for offending you. Forgive me for not calling you more often. Forgive me for speaking unkindly to you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. And say I love you and thank you, I love you. It doesn't matter what order we say them in. And say thank you. If you're doing Ho'oponopono for a certain person, say thank you. Thank you for being such an incredible boss. Thank you for being a good brother or a good sister or a good friend. And bring up specific things that you can think of to be thankful to this person for. You don't have to do this dialogue every single time you go through this process. But be open to little things that come up. If you add to it, I believe you add power and energy to the whole Ho'oponopono process. And I love you. Why do you love them? Just describe your love for this person or this situation, whatever it is. As you do this, I believe it supercharges and adds more power and higher vibration, and things happen better and faster. You will heal the world. You can change your relationships. You can change your reality. You can change the way you perceive and your experience of the world. Can we really have and create our own reality? How many times have you seen different people at a party? They're all at the same party. And you may ask one person, how was that party? Oh, that was the greatest party in the world. Man, I had a good time. And you can ask another person, oh, that party was terrible, man. And they can complain and fight. They go to the same party. They can have the same experience, but yet because of who they are inside and the energies they carry around them, they create a different experience. So it's not just hocus pocus. You really do, and you really can create your own reality. So I invite you today to heal your life and create your reality. And use Ho'oponopono. It's one thing that I use a lot with my sessions. It's one of the tools that I use as I work with clients to help them. There's many other tools, and I'm periodically going to be sharing them with you on this channel that I use with my clients. And it is amazing the power that these things can bring in your life and the change. And it's so simple. If you're doing this and you don't know what to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Some days I get up and I'm going to work or I'm driving down the road, and do you ever get that feeling where it's just things feel out of sorts? It doesn't feel quite right and you can't place your finger on what's wrong, but you know something's wrong? That's a great time to just address the universe with your intention. Address the universe and say, I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you and thank you. If you have no idea what you're sorry for, what you're asking forgiveness for, you raise your vibrational energy and frequency as you say, I am sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And you keep doing that and you keep raising your vibration. Rinse and repeat as necessary. You cannot do this too much, but you will see incredible results. I'd love it if you would email us, go to our website, and email us and share some of the successes that you have with Ho'oponopono. That would be just amazing. I'd love it if you'd do that. Again, go to our website, allthingspossible.biz, and click on the Contact Us. I'd love to do a free strategy session with you to talk about your life and how I may serve you and teach you some more of these tools and techniques and tips that I have. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming to All Things Possible TV. Have a great week, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.